Hello everybody, welcome back to another Dark and Darker video. Today we are discussing the Hotfix 18 patch notes. And they have changed a ton of things that I wanted changed, and this looks like it's going to be a super good hotfix. So right off the bat, I'm going to talk about the most important thing they've changed. Random modifiers for items have been changed. Certain item modifiers now only appear on certain parts, and certain item modifiers do not appear together. Now, I and a lot of others had been complaining about how weapon damage stacking was a bit too strong, and how everyone could just stack weapon damage all the way up to a good plus 70 weapon damage if they actually had top tier god roll items and one-shot everybody as any class. And this made the game really unfun to play. And what they had to say about this is that internally they had discussed completely removing the random modifiers from the game, but decided to give it one more chance with a revamped system. They've significantly reduced the amount of damage stacking that's possible, and they've reduced the randomness of the system by having modifiers tied to specific slots. So players before were asking, okay, how about weapon damage just isn't on armor, things like that, and it seems they've gone in that direction. It'll probably just be on jewelry and weapons from now on. And they've also said if we decide that we cannot make this system work, we will replace it when we have a new system ready. Another big change they've added is that loot drops have been rebalanced, and there will now be less loot drops overall. I hope this isn't too much, and this just means less items in total, because I really liked where loot was at before. You were actually able to get purples, and they were items you actually ever saw instead of just coming from bosses. They also have made it so that you can rent additional stash space. I don't know what that means. Does that mean you can pay gold for it and then you go ahead and get more stash space? Maybe this is just another gold disposal method? And then another one that you guys will be really happy about. The damage of crossbow and longbow has been reduced. To balance this out, they also made it so that Rangers' default arrows are increased from 30 to 40, and arrows can stack up to 20 now. But I think their goal was to nerf Ranger here, and everybody's been asking for Ranger to be nerfed, but honestly, I didn't see the problem. Maybe if you played Ruins a lot, you would have seen more issues because Ranger's better on more open maps. I mostly play Crypts. And here's another great change. Alchemist and Surgeon no longer sell out of health potions and bandages. Great! I don't know why we had to wait 30 minutes in the first place for these low-tier health potions and bandages to come back in stock. Really all it did was stomp the Timmies further and made it so that these top-tier players who were already killing the Timmies every game and taking their health potions had a huge advantage over them because they couldn't even heal up. Another huge change is fixed location, escape, and down portals added to the crypts for testing. So there's going to be extra down portals just fixed in the map in crypts now that should be very helpful to go ahead and get you out of there. And this will likely make routing easier. And they've also increased Inferno playtime by 2 minutes. I'm surprised that they aren't specifying High Roller here or anything like that, but it sounds like they're doing it in regular crypts as well. High Roller just is in desperate need of extra playtime because the enemies have a lot more health and it's way harder to push through. Another huge change that people have been asking for, item rarity is now displayed in item information panel. And if you don't know what this means, basically what people have been asking for is the color of the item to just show on the screen without you hovering over it when you're like looting something. So from what I understand now, if you're opening up a container, whether that be a person's body or a chest, you'll immediately be able to see if an item is orange or purple, just by like the square itself being that color, which I think is a great change. There was a lot of people going, no, I don't want that. That makes the skill cap lower or something. That's just stupid. All these items end up looking the same in the inventory when they shouldn't, and this makes it way easier to loot. This is a quality of life change, and this is a very, very good change. Another change some of you might like is that Blow of Corruption has been nerfed. Its duration after activation has been reduced from 12 to 8 seconds, so it's easier to just run away from the Warlock now. And the additional magic damage is reduced from 20 to 15. This still doesn't remove its power completely though, because basically what you could do with Blow of Corruption is put together a magic damage setup. And if you had plus 20 magic damage, then it would apply to both the magic staff you were using or the crystal sword you were using and Blow of Corruption simultaneously, and you would double up on that additional magic damage you have on, and you could one-shot nuke people. Really though, I don't think it was as much of an issue as people were making it out to be, because warlocks are just plain slow. Another great change they've added here is that gold bags capacities have been increased from 500 to 1,000 gold coins. And this is talking about the big one that you get from making it with a troll pelt. Honestly, if I were them, I would have increased it from 500 to 10,000 gold coins. Make it really big, because those troll pelts are a 2% chance. The other option they could go with is maybe make troll pelts guaranteed on each troll kill, and then you get a certain amount of gold from each kill, because these gold bags are always going to be in high demand because there's limited stash space. They've also changed the gold chest capacity from 3,000 to 10,000 gold. Once again, if I were them, I'd change this from 3,000 to 100,000. Those gold chest items, from what I understand, they're like a 1 in 100,000 chance from looting a gold pile. They're so rare that basically no one had them. You can also sell coin purses and coin bags to merchants. This makes me think they're probably going to test out making it so that you can't take coin purses into the game anymore in the regular crypts, because they were trying to do that to make it so that you couldn't get as much gold out in the regular crypts by making it so you couldn't bring coin purses in. But the problem with that is it actually added a soft lock to the game, so you could have too many coin purses in your stash and you could have no other items that are worth anything, and then not have enough money to go into high roller, and then you still have like a coin purse in your inventory. That literally just meant you had to delete the character, which was really funny, and I don't even know if that actually happened to anybody, but it was a problem. And also, coin purses were just a massive issue to get out of your inventory, especially if you never played high roller. Like, how were you supposed to get rid of them? Overall, I really like this list of changes. So far, the game is not back up yet. It says it's going to take about 4 hours past this, but this looks great. I especially like the down portals added to crypts for testing, and also really like the Inferno extra time. Not certain if I'm gonna like the loot drop changes. Hopefully they're not too bad. I really liked how the loot was before, and I hope they keep adding more options for rats to play this game better, because right now this game is really focused on just hyper chatting yourself up to a giga kitted 3-man and just running through the lobby and killing everyone. And there's other ways to enjoy this game and other ways for this game to be fun to play. Hyper-seeking PvP is not the only way to play this game, and I'd really like them to keep focusing on just, hey, little thing here, little thing there, that make it so other play styles are viable and there's something that people can actually do. I also really hope that the weapon damage nerfs aren't too much to the point where it takes everyone 12 hits to kill someone in high roller. Hopefully that's not the case, and hopefully items are still very good, but we'll have to wait and see. I would also really like to see them just remove the plus weapon damage modifiers entirely and instead go with those percent damage modifiers and buff those up so that those are actually viable, because these plus modifiers are just really hard for them to balance, because on one character that might start off with 15 damage like a rogue is going to get buffed up a lot more from a plus weapon damage, and then a character like a barbarian is going to get buffed up from it a lot less. And then on top of that, the percent stats were just horrible. Like, plus 5 physical power would be equivalent to, say, a good 2% damage. Who would want that over plus 1 weapon damage, or especially over plus 3 weapon damage? That's just bad balancing and extremely overpowered stats. And I think they understood this, and that's why they have changed it. Also, they are hoping with this hotfix that they can go ahead and take their hands off of balancing for a bit and put their hands more towards adding more content. And I think a lot of other players are really hoping for some more content. I'd really love to see that new map they've been teasing. Hopefully that is a 4 or 5 player team map, and I sure hope we get to see the dragon fight with that. That would be great. I'd also love to see down portals for goblin caves and for ruins, because right now it just feels like there isn't enough endgame for either of those maps, despite both of them being very good maps. I think them adding more endgame stuff to do would be great besides PvP, because when the only endgame there is right now is PvP, what that actually incentivizes is your Giga Chads beating up on your Timmies. And when you're incentivizing your Giga Chads to beat up on your Timmies, then what happens is your Timmies stop playing the game, and eventually your Giga Chads don't have fun fighting other Giga Chads because there's a Giga Chad that's better than them, and then they quit too, and they stop having fun. So if there's something they can do here to make the PvE more interesting for these Giga Chad players and kind of redirect some of their attention, not all of it, some of their attention towards the PvE instead of just stomping brand new players, I think that's really going to do well for this game in the long run and make certain that this game has huge player counts to come. Also, I've seen a lot of people being like super negative about this game, and I saw a couple people commenting that I've been super negative about this game. I want this game to succeed, guys, and I'm perfectly happy to go ahead and give my suggestions and do these discussion videos. And unlike games like Escape from Tarkov, this game is changing so quickly. I think if you think this game isn't going to go ahead and get more players than even Escape from Tarkov or any of these other extraction looter games, I think you're brain damaged. I mean, first off, Escape from Tarkov started off with like 0 players for the first couple of years. And then after that, after they started adding some more content over time, that's when they had those huge player boosts. And I think this game's the same way, except we are in the early crowd here. There just isn't all that much content yet. They'll add more PvE stuff, more endgame stuff. And when you have, 9, 10 maps to play on and everything queues instantly instead of taking 20 minutes to queue per game like Escape from Tarkov, that's gonna blow Escape from Tarkov out of the water, because I don't know about you guys, but every other extraction looter I've played, the queue times are absurdly bad. I've mostly played Escape from Tarkov, by the way, and those very bad queue times are something that really ruins the game. Anyways though, guys, if you guys liked this video, make certain to subscribe for more and let me know what you guys think about these changes.